Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to the penultimate episode of our first Menagerie Coast campaign. Just to let everyone know, we do have a full 24-hour stream coming up live on the 2nd of April, where we will be going from 10 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock the following day, doing a full Dungeons and Dragons stream for Latch charity. Can't wait to have you all along for that. Now, we're obviously going to pick up where we left off, so for those of you who haven't seen the previous episodes, you can check them out on the YouTube channel Welsh Maelstrom. All of them are there in a playlist for you to be able to watch through them. I'm going to check up the channel. I'm going to update Bellimac on where we are and talk through the players' positions. We're going to get back into the fight. Because these players, they're in mortal peril at the moment. And everything stands on a knife edge. So, join me for the final and penultimate episode of our D&D campaign.
It just looks like the head.
I am back. Right. So stream has started and everything's ready. I'm glad to see that everyone's ready. We're only waiting on Jan, but he's in work, so he won't be able to join us until later. So for those players who aren't or haven't been part of the previous episode, I'm going to do a quick recap because I know that many of us are tired because we've had long days. So I'm going to fly through and just quickly update on where we stand right now. The waters themselves are dark and murky. The scent of blood is palpable through your nostrils that you inhale with the water breathing potions. You are surrounded on all sides with seahorses climbing and clambering over ruins. Their scales and their gills breathe in the bloodied water of their fallen comrades as they move towards you with menace. The priestess, though injured, still is a force to be reckoned with. Solazina has fallen once, and many of you have sustained great damage fighting in this battle. Everything is still to fight for, and there is no certain outcome. We pick up where we left off, as two of the Seahorsen move in on Zavros and Captain Sylvester. They move forward with a scaly menace, their fangs and their claws looking directly towards you. The first one launches an attack forward. The pike and trident come flashing towards Zavros. Zavros catching it in the last moment, swimming to the side, the water parting as he dodges backwards, preventing the trident from hitting. Captain Sylvester to his side looks over, not seeing what comes forward. Fangs lash out from the deep, clawing straight into Captain Sylvester's side, causing 4 damage. Just as the fangs come away, claws rake forward, causing a further 1 slashing damage to his chest and opening a gaping wound there. Captain Sylvester, what would you like to do?
Let me remind myself what the hell's going on by having a look here. Oh yeah, of course, we're stuck at the back. I guess it's gonna have to be. Yeah, it's gonna have to be short sword on the one closest to me.
Go for it, yeah. You want to roll for attack for me first, please?
I can prick. Not even worth it.
Okay, hey. So as you launch forward after having your chest raked, it's almost like it's a panic attack that you launch out with your rapier, trying to slash across his chest. It moves nimbly in the water, pushing backwards so that the water flies it away from your rapier and out of reach. Next up is Achilles.
Where were we? I'm here, okay. I'm gonna. Where's Jan's character?
So Solazina's moved backwards now. That was the last move he made,
I
yeah.
remember now. Right, I'm going to move around to the left of Rogar. And I'm gonna go for the Queen. And just. Hang on, where's my actions? And just hit her with the spear.
Okay, yeah. So if you want to roll for attack.
I missed 12.
Okay. The spear itself begins to glow dark in the water, and then all at once, a bright light erupts, and the sort of water around the spear begins to bubble as the heat comes out of it. You lance forward with the spear, the priestess catching it, using her sort of weapon and her sacred staff to parry it away before it can cause any further damage. Solazina, I see you've joined us. Was this just a watch?
Yeah, I come to roll.
Okay, go for it. Let's see. What are you going to do, Solazina?
Well, I've stepped back, and how far can I throw a dagger?
I think if you step forward, you should be in range.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's step forward.
Okay.
Try and throw a knife.
Okay, yeah. So you can roll for the attack for me, please. Okay. So as you throw the dagger, lean into the side after taking one step forward. The dagger swings over Rogar's shoulder. The priestess sees it coming, dips her shoulder down, using the water pressure to move herself nimbly away as the dagger spins off before disappearing into the murky blackness of the water surrounding you. Priestess sees an opportunity. She sees a young fairy next to her and takes the opportunity to launch forward in an attack. What's your armor class, Jess?
16.
Okay. First, she launches forward with her teeth, sinking them into your shoulder, causing 1 damage. Next, her claws come upwards, raking across your shoulder, causing an additional 4 damage. Before finally her trident comes down, the scepter in her hand, and causes 6 additional points of damage as it strikes hard across your shoulder, dropping you to the earth.
Yeah, and I'm dead.
You're unconscious. You're not dead yet.
Next, it moves on to Zavros. What would you like to do?
Cool. So, I've still got the hex on this guy that was in front of me.
Yeah.
So, I'll attack him with my rapier.
Yeah. You want to roll for attack for me, please?
18 to hit.
Yeah, you've hit. And if you'd like to roll for damage.
So, on the rapier, that is max damage at the 12. And then I've got the hex damage as well.
How would you like to kill him?
I'll just go straight through the like chin.
Okay. The Seahorse warrior in front of you moves in to engage you after he dodged nimbly past after trying to attack you last time. Moves forward, using his gills and his sort of webbed hands to push forward through the water. As he does so, you take advantage of this, feinting to the right before twisting the blade around and driving it up. It goes through the opening of one of the gills, piercing outside of the top, coming out of one of the eyeballs. The eyeball itself perched on the top of your rapier. As you draw back through, the eyeball becomes dislodged, and the seahorse with its trident collapses sideways and spins off into the deep murky water, blood spurting around it.
Sweet. With my movement, can I get in behind this one?
You can, yeah.
Sweet. And then that will give Captain Sylvester some flanking advantage then.
Yeah. Hey,
Right, I think I'm getting some feedback on your side when other people talk. And stuff go through on mine.
Yeah,
Okay.
some feedback somewhere, but I'm on a headset, so it's not going to be from me.
Yeah, it's not going to be from me. Okay. The next person to move is Rogar. What would you like to do, Rogar?
So I've got She-Witch right next to me, haven't I?
You have got She-Witch right next to you, and Ariana's down at your feet as well.
I'm trying to think now whether Lay on Hands is a bonus action. Maybe 2 seconds. What am I at?
Have a look, Dame. What would you like to do?
I'm log in. So I'm just literally just got on my D&D Beyond. Okay. 5 weeks.
I think Lay on Hands was an action.
Right. Okay. So action. Lay on Hands. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so it is an action. Okay, I'll go for the what's the face? The Sea Witch.
The Sea Witch, okay. So, if you're attacking for the Sea Witch, can you roll for attack for me, please?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna roll for my lance. Let me just check some a minute. I want to see. Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm gonna roll for my lance, and I've rolled 15.
Okay, so it's not enough to hit. So as you strike forward with the lance, going for the Sea Priestess, she looks to you. Foolish little mortal, you're not going to survive. Parrying it away with the scepter, preventing you from going forward any further. Moving straight on. It is now the turn of Brant.
Okay. So how close am I to the princess?
The priestess, so your
Priestess, not princess.
yeah, so your movement is 30, so you could move to here, which is
close to anyone to attack.
You could potentially throw something at her if you've got a ranged weapon of any kind, but you're not got enough range with a warhammer to do damage.
I'll use my crossbow, my light crossbow.
Yeah, you can use your light crossbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll roll for a hit.
Okay, so as you fire the light crossbow out, you draw it, firing the bolt off into the murky blackness as it fires past the shoulder of the priestess.
I use my warhammer.
Ariana, if you'd like to commit to one saving throw for me, please.
Yep, how do I do that?
D20.
Just a D20.
One fail.
Fail. Okay, Bellamac, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Excuse me. So I think there's too many people in front of me at the moment. So can I swing around and help Sylvester and is it Rogar?
So Sylvester and Zavros are behind,
No.
yeah?
Yeah. Can I swing around and then stand in the middle of them and then help with this one guy here?
Yeah.
Just to get rid of him. Am I already in rage or will I have to re-rage
Nope.
back?
You got to re-rage.
Alright, so I'm gonna activate rage then.
There we go. Well done.
This time all campaign.
First time all campaign he's played his character. Yes, you've activated Rage and you're going to go attack him?
Yeah, and then I want to kind of make a sort of a two-handed swing, kind of up and sort of up, just up him like that. Try and knock him off his feet as well.
Yeah, that's fine. Can you roll for me, please, on attack?
Yeah, let me just get a couple sec. There we go. Ooh.
It is a hit. If you can roll for damage for me, please.
13.
Okay. So as you swing back, the water resistance almost parts. You're raging right now. You can see the fury. Ariana's gone down. You can see the imminent danger that your party are in. You draw the weapon back and the water resistance almost parts like you're scything through it, like it's taking nothing. You drive upwards, screaming in fury as the blade itself cuts straight up and then drops down, bringing them to their knees. They're alive, you can see blood pouring from them, but they're only just alive. Then moves on to Ed, Captain Sylvester.
So I'm going to use my Fanged Bite, because I regain hit points equal to the piercing damage dealt by it, so I'm praying that I actually hit him.
Okay, go for it. Roll for the attack. Okay, so as your fangs almost come out of your mouth, you can see the sort of...
got advantage.
Okay, yeah, roll again.
Because we're flanking.
Good point.
I love you, Grant.
Roll for attack. You have for damage. You have passed it. Okay, so your fangs dripping with almost saliva. You can see it's merging with the water around it. Your fangs bring down into the Seahorsen's neck, driving around where the gills are, and you begin to draw blood from it. It begins to struggle and try to fight back, but blood is pouring in the water all around. You begin to drink it in with almost enthusiasm. This Seahorsen starts to lash out and kick, but slowly its life force fades away, and it drops to the floor, slowly. Or lying still. Next, it is Achilles.
He goes again with his spear because he just wants to try and KO this.
Yep.
Oh, that's terrible.
Okay, again, the spear still emanating with this almost glow of pure heat and radiation that begins to spill out of it. The water bubbling around it as it lances forward towards the priestess again knocking it aside with a scepter. You're almost dueling, sparring across the stone bridge. Every single way that you move forward with the spear is deflected. She moves, she deflects it. And then it moves on to Solazina.
I missed a go.
Nope.
So I thought it was after.
Yeah,
Ed.
No, so...
Jan's here, I don't know if he's about.
Jan, Solazina?
Yeah, I'm here.
So what would you like to do? You're next,
Where am
Grant,
I?
after the priestess. Yeah.
How far away is she?
30 foot.
30 foot, right. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna have to attack, aren't I?
Okay, so you're going to move round to where Ariana is?
Yeah. Let's stand over Ariana's dying body.
Okay, yep. And if you can roll for attack for me, please.
Can we flank this person?
Can you flank them?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if we need to get some advantage because she's got 18 AC, I think.
At the moment, you've got Seahorse.
Stand either side.
You've got to stand either side, but if you try to flank, the Seahorse and they're defending her flank will gain advantage on you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, if you can roll for attack for me, please, Jan.
Like an actions in combat thing where I can do 2 weapon fighting. How would I go about that?
Have you got 2 weapons?
They have to be
Yeah.
weapons.
You got two weapon fighting, yeah? 2-handed weapon fighting.
Yeah, two weapon fighting, actions in combat.
So I think you need like
I mean,
2
I roll
daggers,
for both.
effectively.
You've thrown your dagger, mate, so you need to do a normal attack. Your dagger spun off into the water.
Oh. What about an unarmed strike?
Could do that. You'll have to roll for it.
Alright. Right. Longsword first. Oh. 10.
Okay. So as you try to fight with it, you drive it across over Ariana's still form at the moment. The sword flashing but doesn't hit the priestess. She moves out of the way. The priestess looks towards Achilles as she spars slowly with them. What's your armor class, Achilles?
19.
Okay. And your hit points aren't full at the moment, are they?
No, I got on 122.
Okay. So she strikes out first with her claws. Her claws rake across the steel form of your body, tearing deep rends, causing 6 damage against you. Next, she goes to play forward with a bite. The bite missing as you dodge back, as you continue to spar with her. Finally, the scepter comes down in a massive attack, again striking against your sphere. The water around it is heated and bubbling with such fury from your sparring, but you manage to prevent any further damage to yourself by blocking the scepter's attack.
Great.
Then it moves on to Zavros.
Cool. So I'm going to move my hex, then use my bonus action to this one behind the priestess.
Yeah.
And... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. Oh, just in fucking range. So I'm going to go Eldritch Blast.
Against the priestess?
No, the... What's the name behind her?
Yeah, no problem at all. Go for it.
.24 to hit.
Yeah, you definitely hit and damage.
Should've fucking gone for the priestess, but yeah.
Definitely would hit the priestess.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
12 Eldritch Blast damage and then an extra 3, so 15 damage in total.
How do you want to kill him?
Just bore a hole through his chest.
Okay. So the Eldritch Blast fires out across the battlefield. The rest of you still sort of struggling with the combat with the priestess don't see it coming until the water around you begins to fizzle and pop and a great light parts the murky water. The Eldritch Blast flies past you, going straight between a gap between Rogar and Solazina, striking the seahorse that was guarding the sort of rear of the priestess directly in the chest, throwing him backwards with such a force that his chest begins to rend open with the impact and the force of it, flying him backwards against the stone tower, killing him instantly.
Eat shit, fish.
And then we move on to Rogar. On mute there, Damo. What would you like to do? Damo, okay?
You're on mute, Damo.
Damo, you're on mute.
Oh wow! I thought I took myself off.
Nope.
So is Ariana? Huh?
Ariana's down. Ariana's having to do saving throws at the moment.
Roll jet. Okay, cool. All right, sweet. I'll just go attack. I'll attack her again with my lance.
Go for it. Roll for attack.
Are you absolute?
So as you strike out with the lance itself flying again over the still form of Ariana, the priestess, turning the scepter after fighting against Achilles, comes down, moving and pushing your lance directly down into the concrete below of the temple. No damage is dealt. It then moves on to Brant. What would you like to do? Ariana's not far from you down at the moment. You're on mute.
again. I'm going to use my Sacred Flame.
Yeah, and if you want to roll for attack.
Oh, my.
There you go, roll for attack for... Oh, no, does it do immediate damage, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Sacred Flame flashes out, and as she parries the lance down into the earth of Rogar, the flames begin to bubble the water around again as the heat of the battle and the frenzy and the fury is turning the water boiling around her. So as the fire lances out, it begins to scorch up her arm. She recoils back slightly in shock at the damage.
Sacred Flame every time.
Okay, it moves on to Ariana. If you'd like to roll for a saving throw for me, please.
Yeah.
Another unsuccessful saving throw. It moves on to Bellimac.
Right, okay, cool. Sorry, just checking something. Can I move up to the group?
Yeah.
And then, while in rage, I want to start throwing reckless attacks towards the priestess.
Go for it.
I believe gives me an advantage on attack, is it, or damage?
Your...
Advantage on attack. She'll also get advantage on you as well.
Ah, okay.
Go for it, Hap.
19.
You hit. You hit. So, if you want to go for damage for me, please.
Yeah.
Remember, you get advantage on damage as well. So roll twice.
Oh,
I'll take the higher of the two.
there you go.
Okay.
So there's 8 on it.
Yeah, how do you attack her?
Obviously, at the moment, I'm just kind of behind. Sorry, I forgot the name of the character.
Achilles.
Achilles, yeah. So I'm behind Achilles. So, like, using him to kind of block her vision, kind of just want to sort of not jump through, but like run through and just start slashing at her, hopefully trying to catch her off guard if she's too busy focused on the ones in front.
So as Achilles parries one of the blocks, as the scepter comes laying down around him, so it's stab, parry, the scepter flashing out back and forth as they move across the ground. You, just as Achilles lances out, you move past his shoulder, and as the priestess is sort of ready and willing to strike it against Achilles again, you come in with a fury, slashing across her arm once, driving up again, secondly across the chest, and bringing her sort of backwards. The entire fury of the attack has caught her off guard, and she's beginning to weaken now. You can see that she's beginning to struggle. The blood is starting to come out, and it's almost like death by 1,000 wounds. I will survive, you won't kill me! Moves on to Captain Sylvester. What's that?
I just started singing the Bee Gees when you said I will. Right. I suppose I'll move up a little closer behind the guys and then just use my crossbow.
Yeah, go for it. Roll for damage. Roll for attack. You hit and go for damage.
Fucking nat 20.
It's a crit. It's a crit.
It is a crit.
Let's go.
Okay. Okay, so was it a nat 20?
It was.
Okay. Your damage is doubled, I believe, on that. Grant, is it not?
Yeah, so it's the dice roll that's damaged. The dice roll doubles, and then the modifiers I did on top.
Brilliant.
Which D&D Beyond does automatically for you. It basically just rolls 2 dice instead.
So 12 is already
Yeah.
the full amount, yeah?
Because normally I'd have a 5 plus 3, but I've got a 5 plus 3 plus 4.
Okay, fair enough. How would you like to kill her, Ed?
Just square in between the eyes.
Square in between the eyes, okay. So, the battle rages around, the scepter coming back and forth. Bellimac begins to move forward, his great sword coming down in a sweeping arc as the scepter comes up to parry it. Achilles moving below Bellimac as he slances out with the spear. She catches it, pulling the spear forward and bringing Achilles off guard. As she does this and spins around after pulling Achilles off his feet, all you hear is a gentle swish. Blood parts, the water boiling, the crossbow bolt catches off the edge of Achilles' spear and ignites in the water as flames begin to burn off the crossbow bolt as he moves with a fury and a speed that none of you can see. It's like a dart in the ocean flying past. You only catch it like a subtle light, and then it's gone. You turn and you see the priestess standing with a stunned look on her face. Crossbow bolt pierced straight between the eyes. Her eyes glaze over and go glassy. The scepter, once held so firmly in her hand, begins to move. And it drops, slowed by the ocean. As it moves towards the floor, the priestess tumbles backwards, flying into the murky darkness. The seahorse and all around you begin to scream and wail, swimming in multiple different directions, afraid and terrified. The priestess has fallen. Out of the deep, you hear a rumbling. It's fallen, I will not be denied. You will meet again, adventurer. This is not the end. A menagerie coast will once again be mine. At this, the water temple in front of you begins to shake and crack. The large tower that the priestess stood on once before splits, a massive crack moving up as it opens up and breaks. Out of it, a gigantic shark begins to thrash, his teeth grinding and gnashing before he turns towards your party. Face, the visage of death, spins and swims off into the deep. Well
Someone
done.
needs to pick up Ariana. Someone needs to pick up the scepter. We need to fucking get out of it.
So, you've been ordered by Zavros. What are you going to do?
Yeah, so well,
Are we out of
we
combat
need
now then?
You are out of combat right now.
can we just pick Ariana up, or does someone have to physically heal her
She's
or
got
whatever?
6 seconds before she dies.
You've got 6 seconds. So which one of you's picking her up?
So I'll get her. I've got her. I've got her. I'll pick her up, use my Leon Ampule, whatever it is, and just heal her 10 HP.
Brilliant.
Go.
Okay. So as you move through the water, you see Ariana's still form is on the ground in front of you. Rogar, you move over, your hands glowing. You can see the sort of life breath is going out of Ariana. The water-breathing potion barely keeping her alive and stable. As you move over, you lay your healing hands on her. The gold begins to reflect in the water. Ariana's breathing quickens and then begins to grow steady. And you can see life is coming back into her. You saved her, but with 1 second to spare.
Cool.
If no one else is going for it, I'm going over to grab the scepter.
Okay.
Ah,
Going on.
Achilles is gone and got the scepter. Like Kung Fu grip.
I thought you said you grabbed it. I thought you said you picked it up.
So Achilles has got the scepter, yeah? So Achilles, as the priestess began to fall, you saw the scepter drop from her cold hands as it began to move through the water and the ocean, almost as if it was going to go off the side of the sort of pathway that you were on. You quickly reach out and grab the scepter in your other hand, keeping your Hellfire Spear in one and the scepter in the other one. It glows with a menacing power in your hand.
Yeah, just keeps it there. He feels it's going to be safest with him.
Okay, what would you like to do, party? You've got the scepter, the priestess is down, the temple itself is beginning. The temple is beginning to shake and crack around you. The very ground that you're standing on is beginning to dislodge and is starting to come apart. The whole temple itself is beginning to sink into an abyss and a chasm that's opening with a great shark rose out of.
Get the fuck out of there. I'm not messing with any shit.
Yeah, I'm already. I am.
Can we check?
I mean,
Can we check the priestess? Is there time before we have to run?
Your decision, Solazina. Got to make that decision. I can't tell you that.
I'm a shark.
I'm at a dodge.
I'm gonna quickly give her a pat down.
Okay, if you can roll for so insight first and acrobatics as well. Actually, roll for a dexterity saving throw first, because the temple's coming apart around you.
Okay.
As Achilles struggles to swim, he's already started going.
Yeah. So Achilles is on the move. Which of the rest of you are on the move?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're on.
I'm already
I'm on
What
the move.
did you
now.
going
say
out.
to roll?
I think we all are, Baz, not Zena.
Dexterity saving throw for me, please, Jan.
Where's that?
Should just be
Should just
dexterity.
and,
It's under your ability
Dexterity.
saves, your main page.
The temple's cracking around you is beginning to fall apart. The ground rupturing. The great arch off to your left has crumbled and cracked, falling to the ocean floor.
Dexterity is 22.
Okay, so as you move forward, going over to the priestess's body, you swim quickly. The arch itself collapsing towards you. You quickly dodge out of the way as it comes towards you. The force of it impacting the very ground, causing it to shake and the ocean to quake. The sand picked up from it causes it to become murky. You get to the priestess's body and you search her over. There is nothing on the priestess's body. The scepter itself was the source of her power.
Okay, I'm gonna run.
Okay, so you begin to swim upwards. The sand itself, and that was kicked up by the arches in your face at the moment, it's very difficult to see which way is up. Can you roll an intelligence throw so that I can see whether or not you know which way to go?
who's rolling that? All of it.
No, just Solazina. Okay.
13.
So as the sand kicks up around you, it begins to get disorientated. The water breathing potion is still in full effect and you're still able to breathe, but the sand is making it difficult to know which way to go, with the crevasse opening up around you and the temple collapsing. All you can hear is the steady thudding as more parts of the temple collapse to the ocean floor or begin to move into the chasm. With this disorientation, you quickly think, what can you do? And you blow outwards and watch which direction the bubbles go in as a means of knowing which way to go. And you follow the bubbles of your breath upwards. The sand begins to part, and you see the forms of the rest of the party as they swim away out into the deep in front of you. As you begin to swim upwards, the gloom and the murkiness, the darkness and the blood of the situation below, the very water around you begins to almost collapse and cave inwards. You can see the great shark is swimming off into the distance, its menace there. Out of the shadows, you see another creature link with the great shark and begin to swim. His tentacles huge, but his menace all the same, his shadowy form pushing away into the murky black. The very air begins to almost be taken from your lungs by the sight of it. And as you swim upwards, the water becomes less and less murky and light begins to pour through. You can see the hulls of 3 ships above you. You're nearly there. And you keep swimming and you keep swimming and you keep swimming. The struggle is real. You can feel it now. That fear, that tension. You can see the frantic chaos of the ships above as they can see the fin of the great shark. Whatever else is accompanying it. You can tell that they're making ready to leave. And as you swim upwards, and you crest above the surface, light begins to pour in. You can hear the captain calling down to you. Quick, all of you on board, we need to leave. Now, we need to go. Have you got the scepter?
Just say, he just says, get ready to go and run as we're trying to get on. Doesn't answer and just keeps going.
Okay, so as you clamber up onto the decking, all of you, you prepare to leave. Captain Three Earrings storming about with her new crew. Calden, the new quartermaster, and her new first mate begins moving forward to get onto the wheel. He spins the ship with a force, the anchor raising. The sails drop and the wind picks up, pushing you with an absolutely awesome force. All 3 ships moving in one single direction, sailing off from the deep waters and away from the shark fin in the distance. You see the darkness of the water looming around you, and you hear one final crack as the surface of the ocean opens and the temple falls into the deep to be seen no more.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, Find yourself breathless, struggling after a difficult fight. The scepter clutched into the hands of Achilles as you rest on the deck. Crew standing all around you, towards you. Clear, they may not have thought that it was possible to achieve your task. The captain walks over to look towards you. Sees the scepter there in Achilles' hands, and holds out her hand. Hand over the scepter. Your part of the deal is complete.
Now, part of the deal was to get the scepter and help you deliver it to Darktoe. So we'll keep the scepter for now until we get to Darktoe and our ship's safe.
And then we'll take our ship after.
You can see the crew sort of begin to stand around Captain Three Earrings, looking on you with menace. They clearly outnumber you by many. Give us the scepter. You will be given your ship with immediate effect. All of its gold there for you to take on your quest. You will be inducted into the revelry and we'll meet you at Darktow.
Well, seems someone's already sailing our ship. Why don't we just stay here with the scepter and make sure it gets delivered to the right place?
I'm not going to ask you again.
Did you just see what we done? We done the thing that you couldn't do. We took on the priestess and her army. And we survived.
You didn't try. You didn't see us try. You didn't see us try to fight it. I assure you, we would have accomplished it just the same as you.
Hang on. Let's rewind a few days here and go, oh, I need adventurers in order to do this. I need someone in order to do this.
Why would I risk my own crew if I could use you instead?
Well, to me that sounds like you're pussying out. So how about we just sit here nice and quiet and calm. We sail back to Darktoe. Achilles will keep the scepter for now. And once we get to Darktoe, then we'll hand over the scepter, we'll take our ship and we'll go.
She looks to you.
That is your final warning.
And with that, I'll take out a cigar.
I am going to unleash.
Wet.
Yes, you've got to stop.
Start burning it as if you're trying to, you know,
little prestige on it to dry it out, and then fucking light up your cigar.
Okay, so as you stand there, smoke coming out of your mouth from this cigar that you've cast prestidigitation on to be able to light. You look her in the eye, the party coming to surround you. Achilles flanking you first, then Solazina. Rogar moves in, Belamac as well, the fighters in the front. Brant moves forward, supporting Ariana after saving her. And Captain Sylvester slyly watches from the side, a smirk on his face as he sits on the decking, looking towards the captain with this almost face of amusement to say, can't really argue with him. Captain Three Earrings can clearly see that you're ready for a fight. You will brook no argument. We will go to Darktow then. Finally, we will meet our contact. And you will earn your reward. Does that suit you, Zavros?
There's only one amendment that I make to that through Captain Three Earrings.
And what is this?
How about we share a bottle of rum?
She smirks at
That's
this.
a celebration.
She smirks at this. And brings a bottle of rum out from behind her back that she clearly keeps on her belt behind her. And throws it end over end. And you catch it out of the air. Bite the cork out. Down it.
To new friends.
To new friends. At first, the crew are very quiet, waiting for Captain Three Earrings to lead, sort of cheering. She takes another bottle of rum from one of her crewmates that comes over. Upends it. Looks towards you. To new friends. And dare I say, new crew and captain for the Revelry Pirates as well.
We'll speak with your contacts. We need some information anyway.
Very well. I'm assuming that this is information related to the theory that is looking rather ill over there. It seems that it's taken quite a toll on her, the fight, as has Solazina as well, it seems. The information...
I mean, the fairy's just more used to flying than she is swimming, that's all.
Yes, I can imagine. It's not exactly going to be your element, is it, Ariana?
No.
No, I didn't think so either. Very well.
So, what are we? I got questions, but are we doing the questions or no?
Yeah, you can go for it.
Yeah. So, Mike. So, do you know why the priestess? We heard a voice when we were in the water, and it sounded like someone was guiding the priestess or telling the priestess what to do. Do you have any ideas what it is? And you see the big creature. I don't know if it's the same thing.
Okota is who she believed that she was supporting, but I do not believe it was Okota. I do not believe it in the slightest. The first creature you saw was a megalithic shark, the one that we saw from before. The second creature, though I hope it is not true, will be the first kraken unleashed on the Menagerie Coast for many, many generations. A great shark and a kraken to fight the Clovis Concord and the Revelry may be something that we may not survive. For now, celebrate our victory. Do you have anything else that you would like to ask me, Rogar?
No, I don't. I just pull out one of those fairy cocktails and neck it. I don't realise it's a fairy cocktail until I burp and then flames come out my nostrils. But yeah.
And you start hiccuping, yeah?
Yeah, hiccup. I go, hiccup.
So
Hiccup.
So you drink the fairy cocktail, and as you start to hiccup and you realise what it is that you've drunk, every time you're hiccuping, flames are coming out of your mouth. Now, the third time that you hiccup, you recoil and a bunch of ropes on the deck start to set on fire. You can see the panic in the crew around you, and you hear a man call from the top ropes. And the captain shouts up, "Donda! Get down here and hold this man over the edge so he doesn't set anything else on fire." A rope drops.
Cast prestidigitation to just snuff out the flame as well.
Okay, so you cast prestidigitation, the flames are snuffed out. This burly-looking sailor drops down from the top deck, grips Rogar by the back of his neck, and pushes him over the side so that his head's out there. So every time he's hiccuping, the fire's like going out over the water instead of onto the ship. Okay. So we're ready then to move into Dark Tower, or would you like to ask any further questions?
I got none.
Nah, I'm cool. Just go to Dark Tower.
You ready to go to Dark Tower, yeah? Okay. Alright. So for this part, there is no tabletop. Unfortunately, Dark Tower is very difficult to build, though it will take me a while to do. Though it will be built at some point. We're going to come away from tabletop for now, and I'm going to hook back across to our Discord.
The underwater bit, was that a pack you downloaded, or was it just one you found and made up?
So I amended it based on a workshop item. So it was there, but I've added stuff from the workshop onto it.
Nice.
Here we go. So the ship is
taking us to sail back.
So it's long enough for a long rest. It's going to take you a good couple of hours to get back there, so you could be able to have a long rest. So the ship is.
We do that now then.
Say again, Jess.
We can do that now then, yeah.
Yeah, you can put all of your health back up. You're all in a sort of strong position. Okay. So, the ship itself begins to cut through the water, almost lively. The wind itself drawing you across the water. The air seems different. The sea seems different. Calmer somehow since your fight with the priestess. There isn't so many squalls. There isn't so many storms. The sea itself almost begins to be more gentle in a way now that the priestess no longer has the scepter. Though you do notice, Achilles, that the scepter itself is always pulsing and almost in your hand has this force drawing it back towards the sea. So it's taking a lot of strength to hold on to it, because it's almost pulling itself back into the ocean in your hands. The ship itself is... Yeah?
Can I do an investigation check on it? Or, like, yeah, something along those lines?
Yeah, you can do an investigation check. Yeah, do an Arcana check.
Because I won't do an Arcana check on it, because I just want to physically inspect it. Someone else can. I'm guessing we're below deck now on this ship. Pretty.
Yeah, so you're all below deck in your quarters, in your little meeting room that you tend to go to.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do an investigation check because I'm confident. Wow, I'll have a quick go of it.
Okay.
It's just a scepter. I got a 5.
Okay.
This is a scepter.
Is it silver plated or?
Okay. So you hold. Okay. So as you hold up the scepter in your hand, looking towards it, you can see that it's made of a gold-like material that isn't actually gold. At the top of the scepter, it begins to curve. So looking at it, you can see that there's a curve. So it's straight with some adornments on it, with inscriptions that you can't make out. And then at the top, it begins to curve around. And in that curvature, there's a small, like, gemstone that's encased in this magic. The gemstone itself is vibrating a deep blue. So you can see it there, and it is vibrating, literally shaking. And it's that sort of gemstone that begins to pull the scepter towards the sea. So every now and then, when you're not focusing on it, you're having to catch it and then move it back towards the position that you're holding it in. Because it is being drawn back to the ocean as you're holding it.
Can I do something, Callum?
Yeah.
Can I do detect magic?
You can do detect magic.
Yeah. He hasn't got that spell.
Well, no, he can't then.
You got detect magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can do detect magic, and you'll see that it's a magical item.
But no. It's School of Magic. The School of Magic.
Do you want to know what school?
Here's where the DM will need to go through the player's handbook to try and figure out what School of Magic it is, unless he's got an item description with that already on it.
Look on his face, I'd say no.
Look at him looking now.
We're going to say it's destruction, okay?
Destruction.
You add 200 XP.
Oh yes. Just to FYI, you are all now level 3.
And what XP do I get for killing?
We're all level 3.
You're all level 3.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think you only landed one shot on the priestess.
It's the one that mattered though. So.
Oh, all right. All right. Granted, if you hadn't landed that shot, then the possibility is that Ariana may have failed her last saving throw, and she could have died.
To be fair, I think Sylvester took like 2 of my kills. Just damn it. I was like, yeah, I'll just take it.
You've killed one enemy. It doesn't matter what it is. It's one enemy.
I act as a communist when it comes to your XP. If you want to start acting like a want to start acting like a capitalist, then we can change the XP awarding for the 24-hour stream. But for now, you share it equally. Just gonna have Ed now sitting back in the 24-hour stream, just picking one off.
Yeah. Milestone all the way.
There we go. So we'll keep it as milestones. Okay. So the ship itself begins to move through the waters, and as you're going across the sea, Captain Three Earrings comes down from above. I'm afraid that I'm going to have to confine you to quarters for this final bit of the journey as we make the move towards Dark Tower. Its location is a secret, and until you can be fully trusted and brought in as revelry pirates, I'm not going to allow you to see the direction that we go in. So you are confined to quarters. Is that understood?
Yeah.
How are we going to find our way back out of Dark Toe? I take it as navigational equipment on our ship, and you are here on the map, is it? Or
Captain Sylvester will be taking over as captain of the Abyss Diver once we have successfully got to Dark Tower and deposited the scepter in a safe location with the Plank King. However, there is navigational equipment on board, and you shall have a number of crewmates from the Revelry Pirates to assist you in your adventures and your travels, one of them being a very skilled navigator. Believe me, we have an invested interest in keeping a party such as your quality alive and working. Do we have an understanding?
Yeah.
Good. Here's a crate of rum, as well as any other drink that you possibly want to have. I know what it was like the last time that you were left on board this ship with drink. Can't remember most of the night, so therefore I shall leave you with it for your final night. We should be arriving in Dark Tow in the next hour and a half maximum. Enjoy yourselves. Your reward. And as she says this, a chest is brought down from above, and the chest itself is brought in front of you and deposited. And in this chest, as it opens up, is the gold that you were promised. And as she looks over to you, I trust you understand that you still have the scepter, but we're still willing to pay you for the services rendered. An act of trust, you could say. Good grace. Continue to do this fair?
Yeah, sounds fair.
Go. So the gold that she originally promised you is dumped in front of you and left in an open chest as she begins to saunter back up the stairs. You can hear it's the steady sort of rhythmic as she begins to walk back up the steps.
Now, how much was in that chest?
So the chest itself was originally agreed to be 500 gold, part of the agreement. However, as part of your renegotiations with the captain, it was agreed that it would be increased 700 gold, as well as the ship being provided to you.
Sweet.
Solazina's not in yet.
So we've got 87.5 gold each. Included Solazina.
So, are you comfortable with this? Happy. Okay. So, moving swiftly on, you begin to round a sort of corner. You can feel the direction of the ship begin to shift and change as you cut through the water. As you cut through the ocean, a large rock looms on your right, mist surrounding it, but you can see that it's a sunny day because the sun begins to pierce through this fog, almost this bright, but you're not able to see much around you. The mist is piercing through the ship, so it's almost strange. The ship itself is encompassed in fog, even though you're below deck, so the fog surrounds you and makes it difficult to see, even though you are below decks at the moment. As you round the corner, the captain bangs from above and says, "We have arrived. Would you like to come and see Dark Tow?"
Let's fucking do this.
So as you walk up the planks of the deck, almost barging past each other to get a look, you see an island begin to appear out of the fog. The fog parting around you just stops dead, like it's hitting an invisible barrier. And as you break through this fog, you can see this island rising up out of the ocean. From every part of the island, there's another dockside, another ship, 1,000 different makes and 1,000 different colours. Ships of all types with crews scurrying over them. Ships coming in from the fog to your right, the fog to your left. All of them moving towards the dockside, and other ships moving in the opposite direction, entering the fog with a great cheer as they move out. You can see parties and revelry happening all along the coastline. You can see goods being traded and large crates being deposited. Even seeing some crates with animals in cages of mystic and unknown types being traded by shadowy figures on the beachhead. The island ascends upwards as many houses and shops and marketplaces dot themselves around and begin to rise with wooden planking all the way up to the top. And at the top of the wooden planking on the top of the island, the ship is built into the mountainside itself. From the top of this ship, you see a light looking down and a telescope from a shadowy figure in a hooded cloak. They look down, watching you appear out of the fog, all 3 ships moving towards the dockside. As you begin to round the bend and get towards the dock, the captain giving orders for the crew to assemble and begin to make way and get ready for the ship. The light disappears, walks backwards to the ship. You've pulled in now, you're on the dockside, the ship has been made ready, and the board plank has been put down onto the dockside below you. What would you like to do as a party?
I want to go over and inspect our ship in private so we can know what's where and what the crack is.
Absolutely. So you move down the dockside and you begin to walk towards your ship. The Abyss Divers pulled up on a dockside alongside, and you see Captain Hydal pulling up on their ship as well. The ship itself, as you move over to it, can see it's not of brilliant quality. It's not one of the best ships that you've ever seen, but you can tell that it's subtle, it's light, and it can move quickly, often outpacing your ship when you were on the Wave Seeker on the ocean. Oftentimes they had to stop and wait for you to catch up before it began to move on again. The ship does have a first mate who sees you inspecting it from a distance. Would you want to roll a perception check to gain more information on the ship?
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it. Roll a perception check for me.
16.
16. As you look at the ship itself, you can see that the hull is made of a thick, dense wood. Now, the wood itself is not heavily made in terms of, you can tell that it can take a beating, but it's not perfect and it's not invulnerable. Looking at the ship, if you were to engage in close quarters combat with another ship, especially of a bigger build, you would be sunk instantly. That being said, the way that the ship has been built, that if you were to engage enemies at a distance, and Captain Sylvester at this point is perceiving this as part of the party now, so I'm doing it as a group, you begin to look over at Captain Sylvester and sort of make the judgment in your head that this is a ship that's meant to be used to dodge in quickly, fire a number of shots at range to cripple the ship before moving in from either the front or the rear of the enemy ship to board it quickly and take it over, but it is not for direct combat. It has 2 main sails on it, and the sails themselves are easily maintained and manageable, so it's well built and simply maintained, so it's not complicated to use. You're not going to have massive sailing experience to be able to utilize that ship.
It's a sloop.
It's not a sloop.
A big sloop.
Big sloop, really manageable.
The ship itself has 6 main cannons on either side of the deck, giving it an impressive amount of firepower, as well as 2 chain guns on the opposite part of the deck in the background. The ship itself is well maintained, easily used, fast and nimble, with decent armour at range, but not used for direct confrontation. You also know that there's a complement of 6 crewmen with a skilled navigator and first mate to assist Captain Sylvester in running the ship. Would you like to know anything more about the ship?
How many bedrooms?
How many bedrooms? So, Captain Sylvester, you've seen this type of ship before, and you've even had the experience of sailing on one. You understand that it is a prototype ship. There are a number of cabins below. There is a captain's cabin. There is 4 cabins below deck that can house 2 people each, and those cabins are specifically for travellers, so they're well maintained. They're not luxurious, but they're basic in their needs and able to support people staying in them. And then across the deck outside of these cabins, as you move through this storage area, the rest of the crew's quarters exists, or for anyone that's travelling on board your ship, and they're mostly just hammocks that are swung between the ship's beams past the storage area.
Have we got off? Has everyone got off the boat yet?
Everyone's off the boat now.
Okay, because as Achilles just wants to make sure that the scepter's not in sight of everyone. He kind of wants. Is it small enough to put behind his shield where people can't see it?
It is small enough to be able to hide behind Achilles' shield. So what you do, the shield itself, as you're holding it, you've got the metal plating wrapped around your arm as you sort of insert it, because you've got 2 bands across your arm that allows you to hold your shield vertically. What you've done is you've taken some sort of string that Bellamac had picked up previously, and you've used that. Sorry, Solazina had picked up previously, and you've used that string to wrap and tie the scepter to your forearm. But it's still pulling you towards the sea right now. So you're holding it, but it's quite difficult to hold, and it's making your shield heavier.
I've also put my little raggedy cloak that I had on from when I was a refugee over the top of the shield as well.
Yeah, that's fine. So the shield itself has got this cloak over it. So you've draped the cloak over your shoulder and it's resting across the shield as you're walking. So the shield is sort of half in the cloak, half out, but you're holding it downwards so that the scepter can't be spotted.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you? What would you like to do? So Achilles is standing. You've observed your ship, which is the Abyss Diver.
We're not being dragged off anywhere by anyone else by the looks of it, like
You-
Captain 3.
Captain Three Earrings is on the shore at the moment, chatting away with Calden as storage and crates are being brought off the ship and being taken towards a sort of dockyard or a warehouse further along the docks.
Achilles would like to go and see a smithery. He kind of mentions to his party as their thing that he wants to go and see a smith.
Yeah.
So what do we want to do first? Do we want to go around and do like the little bits for us first? Because we're going to be watched, and there's Revelry crew, including like first mate, navigator, and all that on our ships. It's not a case where we can just sort of ditch and go with it. So do we want to go up and see what they want to do with the scepter, how they're going to be storing it, and all that sort of stuff before giving it over? See if we can do that outside of earshot of Three Earrings as well. Get a little bit more change, and then go and do like little bits like going to a smithery. And what I really want to do is see if they got they must have like places for like repairs for sails and stuff like that, because it's just basically a big dock by the looks of it.
Yeah.
We'll need something so that we can sail incognito rather than constantly having to look around to make sure that we're not being watched by like Clovis Concord and stuff. And then when we need to put the Revelry colours on, we can do that.
Yeah, like the pirates are doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to want
Are we
to...
committed to joining these pirates? Have we committed to that kind of?
I think that's the spear bit, isn't it? Let's get that done and dusted out the way, and then we can try and work out what's what. Because realistically, if we go, the only downside is if everything goes south and we got to get out of Dodge quick, we're not going to get an opportunity to spend shit. But I suppose let's get that out of the way. We might have more moolah to go to the shops with.
We got more contacts as well. So if we're on the pirates' side, so to speak, we've got more contacts there. We may be able to get hold of like certain items and things that we may not be able to get hold of legally, and all sorts of like little bits and pieces. Just because we're saying that we're part of the Revelry Pirates doesn't mean that we need to do pillaging and looting and all the rest of it. By the sounds of it, we're going to be their little like special ops type bit. If it's things like getting a scepter to stop someone from sinking islands, I'm all up for that.
That's fair shit.
Okay.
Achilles goes along with that kind of mindset.
Okay. So, as you continue to talk on docks, you can hear that there's lots of conversations going around around you. You can hear hammering and sort of sails being dragged out and ships being repaired. When you used your perception check earlier, what Captain Sylvester noticed that many of the ships that were on the dockyards were needing repairs from cannon strikes and other magical attacks on them. So you can see the ships have got scorch marks. And there's some where the hulls have been struck, but they're being repaired very quickly and then they're being sent out again. As you're looking around the docks, Captain Three Earrings walks over with Calden at her side. Idle Axebeard walks alongside as well, now an equal of Captain Three Earrings. Well, we ready then to go and meet our contact?
Yeah, so who is your contact? Are we on about, you know, like the ruler of this place, or is it just another pirate?
Gives a smug look at this and just smiles and smirks. You'll find out. We have a long climb ahead of us. We're going to that ship at the top of the hill. Follow me.
How the hell did a ship get to the top of the hill?
She turns to you with a sort of exasperated sigh.
We got a long climb. Talk to me.
Talk to you, is it? Well, Zavros, we've been on ship long enough to know. You fought at the bottom of the ocean in a water temple against a priestess with a scepter. Why are you questioning a ship being on top of a hill?
I don't know that it's done, down to the scepter or magic. It could be that, someone ordered like 2,000 men to drag a bloody ship behind them or something. Just trying to make conversation, 3 earrings. We shared a bottle of rum.
We did share.
Friends.
We did share a bottle of rum, but you are a rival crew in the Revelry Pirates now. Though I suppose I should tell you, we built it at the top of the hill. Nothing as fancy as us dragging it up the hill, though that would be a great story to sell.
That's what I was hoping.
I might be able to peddle that, Zavros. Might increase the prestige of the Revelry Pirates. No, it was not dragged up the hill, it was built on top of the hill.
And now we're rivals.
Oh, yes.
So you're not all like one collective. You're all against each other under the same banner. Like how does that work?
A bit of competitive rivalry goes a long way to encourage people to do the best that they can.
Oh, that's sort of right. Oh, well, that's all right then.
Yes, yes. But if you screw me over, I won't be afraid to shoot on you. You should know this.
Screw you. What do you think I am, a pirate? And I'll just smirk.
And she'll smirk back at you at that as well. Well, judging by the little confrontation we had over the scepter, I think that you're going to fit right in here. And at this, she turns on her heels and begins to walk up the hill. So it's all planking, it's all steps. So as you begin to climb and climb and climb, you're starting to get fatigued because there's a lot of steps to get up this hill. You're passing by different kinds of merchants. You see a blacksmith as well, hammering away. Though that is built into the side of the mountain itself rather than on the wooden planking just because of the forge and the fire. And as you keep climbing and climbing and climbing, you see all of these people of different cultures and different races. It's so multicultural, and in a way it's got its own sort of prestigious beauty as you continue to climb the hill. As you get towards the top, Captain Three Earrings is stopped in her tracks by a man who stands at the bottom of this boarding leading in the cargo hold of the great ship on the mountain. Captain, it's been a while since we've seen you around these parts. I'm assuming you've been able to complete your quest? Absolutely, we've been able to complete our quest, and we bring you Revelry Pirates to join the cause as well. Surprised to know that they killed the priestess without the assistance of any of us. Quite formidable, I assure you. I've made a deal, and we need to see the head of. You allow us past? You're to hand over all of your weaponry, and then you will be allowed to see them. At this, the two guards sort of stand aside and point towards an armory on the side where you can deposit all of your weapons.
So I'm going to hold out my weapon. And because I've just leveled to 3, I'm just going to do like a little magic trick, and my weapon's just going to disappear. It's going to fade away into the ether.
Okay, so as you do this, the sort of guardsman looks a bit like, well, I can't argue you don't have a weapon in your hand, so therefore, you have nothing to put in the armory. You there, metal man. You. Sword and shield over there now in the armory. You big green thing, you too.
I, underneath my shield, Achilles wants to attempt to pull the gem out of the scepter.
So we've been having a little discussion while we're walking up. So this is while walking up, not right in front of the fucking guards.
Yeah. So he just wants to try and pull the gem out there.
All right, go for a strength check for me, please.
Come on, big.
Oh, something good.
19.
Okay.
Ooh.
So the scepter itself is hidden beneath your shield, and as you walk in, you reach down. As you grasp the gem that's held in the scepter, you hold it tightly in your fist, and you pull with an almighty force. As you're pulling, you can feel it recoiling back. Every time you pull back, it's recoiling straight back into the scepter. Until on one last occasion, you pull, ripping it backwards. And as you do, the scepter itself vanishes. In your hand is held a gemstone, and it begins to pulse. Almost like it's sending out a signal, so it's pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. And this blue magical aura begins to come off it. So every pulse, boom, 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 magic begins to fly off it. But it's subtle enough that you can still disguise it.
I'm not expecting that, Cal.
Well, what weren't you expecting?
I'm not expecting that. So it disappeared. A stone.
Okay, so you've done that now. What would you like to do next?
Hang on, we don't have anything. Where's the stone? The stone's gone as well.
No, you've got the stone, but it's pulsing right now as if it's sending out a signal.
So Achilles is holding the scepter, and then he's got a
No, the scepter's gone. The scepter's disappeared.
gone.
So the scepter itself is evaporated as you rip the stone out of the top of it.
Do you want me to repair it? Do you want me to repair it? If I could mend it.
We don't have the scepter.
You don't have the scepter. You only have the stone from the top of the scepter.
Well, actually, it could come in handy because I feel like what we could do is can we have a look to find like a really big branch or like stick and like ransack and like put the stone on the stick.
You can, yeah. There's plenty of wood around you. So, Bellamac, do you wanna roll for a strength check so you can rip some boards off?
Into Achilles' forehead. So
Right, hang on. Let's get D&D back up.
Roll for a strength check.
Yeah, we'll do now. 1 sec. Sorry. Okay. Roll in. 17. Or 19, sorry. 19.
19, yeah? Okay, so you walk over to the boardings, the railing next to you. So the guards are watching you, intrigued at the moment. So as you walk over, you're sort of looking around, go over. You're trying to be subtle, but you're not very subtle. And all you do is you rip 2 boards off and then, like, walk over and give them to Brant. And then walk over and put your weapon in the armory.
Fair.
The guardsman looks at you. Why did you just rip a part of the boarding?
Well, he said he could fix the boards, so I thought I'd just take them to him instead.
The boards weren't broken until you ripped them apart.
They looked a bit skewiff.
They looked a bit skew.
It's a whole paradox thing.
It's a whole.
He said that he could repair them if they were needing in repair. So you pull them up so they need repair, so the guy can repair it. It's just giving people jobs.
Yeah. There we
He's
go.
a good guy. He's a good guy.
The guards look a bit perplexed and they look to you and go, "You're a strange bunch, aren't you?"
Mm-hmm.
We can live with that.
And I'll cast Mask of Many Faces, just so that it looks like my sort of do like the little predator mouth. While I go, yeah.
As you do this and you cast it of many faces, they jump back and begin to draw their weapons. Seahorse! Seahorse intruders!
Oh, not a fucking seahorse. Just wipe it away. Don't be so daft.
And then they put their swords back in, but they're a bit more cautious. And they're watching you now, Zavros. Already your weapon, and then you look like a seahorse for a moment. In you.
Right, so we're walking up the hill. The stone's been pulled out of the scepter. The scepter's disappeared. We've got the stone. It's pulsing now.
Yeah. Brant, for you, you're going to have to... I think it's going to be an Arcana check, I think. That's the only one that's likely for you to be able to put this weapon back together. The scepter. So if you can roll for Arcana.
Arcana. Oh. Okay, here we go.
Okay. So as you take the planks over to him, Velamac, Achilles sort of nudges over so that he's holding the stone underneath. So Brant sort of takes a look at it, thinks about it, draws some string out of his pocket, takes the two boards, puts them on either side of the stone, then ties them together. So now it's this pulsing stone, only it's got two planks of wood on either side of it.
Yeah, no, more obvious.
Okay.
Is there any spells they can cast to make it look different to what it actually is?
Yeah, is it like a kind of like a mask of many faces spell, but as you said there, for like
Grant could potentially cast prestidigitation on it to disguise it, but as soon as Grant moves away,
clean it and stuff.
yeah, it's not gonna.
And minor illusion only lasts like 6 seconds.
Yeah, so that minor illusion will very quickly disappear.
And run.
Yeah,
1 minute. We've got 1 fucking minute.
I reckon it'll be fine. It's just maybe it was controlling it, or we're more aware of the pulsing. We weren't. It could be a case of we weren't aware that it was pulsing as much as it was because it was in this. We're maybe doing the same thing. So it's,
we could hand it over, and I could put a fog cloud. Cast a fog cloud.
I say we just see what they say, take it up there and see what they say potentially.
I feel like there needs to be I feel like there needs to be some persuasion by saying like it suddenly just started pulsing and then the staff just disappeared and then we're just stuck with the stone.
Okay. So as you begin to walk up the decking after depositing your weapons in the armory, the scepter almost held gingerly in Achilles' hand, now looking very strange as it's just two planks of wood strapped to this magical item as it's pulsing. Captain Three Earrings sort of gives a sort of questioning look towards you, but she turns and walks anyway up the planking. As she turns and walks up the planking, you enter a hold that you would immediately be greeted by thinking that it would be dark and gloomy. However, it's brilliantly well lit and it's very luxurious. It's almost like a great hall in the cargo hold of a ship held inside of a mountain. There's many drinks all around and a great table that is arranged from one end to the other. There's food on the table and a number of captains are sitting around eating there. At this, as you enter the room, you hear a banging. 2, 3. You look towards a set of steps on the right hand side. As they walk down, see a figure. The leg appears to be mangled, so they're walking with a hobble. However, you can tell that this is a formidable fighter. Burly and strong from years of being on the sea, they have great sort of physique. And as they walk down, dark cloak billows out from leather armour. The captain's hat tilted down, covering their face fully. But as it lifts up, you're greeted by a handsome face, but almost in a scarred and rugged way. A full black beard and ringlets that drop down from their hair. And as they walk towards you, they stop short. Welcome to Dark Tower. I am the Planking. You're in my domain. Captain Three Earrings was sent on a quest. Were you successful? Come, speak now.
Aye.
Yep.
Good. I like short answers. Makes it a lot simpler. Hand it over, then. You will have already been rewarded with your gold and your ship, which I assure you is being fully stocked and ready for the next mission. Provide you.
Good, Ben.
Okay.
Hand over the scepter.
Before we do, I'm going to do the same again. And hope.
You're going to try and fix it again, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
It means it will have a higher DC because you're trying the same thing again.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
16.
Okay. So as you're walking forward, you're hard at work keeping the sort of scepter behind your back, but you're working. You can tell that you're using tools behind your back to be able to sort of fix it. As you're walking forward towards the Pirate King, the Plank King, walk over. Just as you're about to hand it out, you hand it out to them. It's not gold anymore, but it's the exact same shape as the scepter was, and it's made out of wood instead, with the gemstone in the top. The gem is still pulsing. As you walk over to the Plank King and hold it out in front of him, he takes one step back, a look of absolute and sheer terror on his face.
What have we done?
Pulsing, or is it just because I look ugly?
No, he's looking with fear at the scepter. He's looking terrified. When did this start? Answer quickly, you fools! Do it now!
Like right before we got outside the door.
How did it happen? Speak quickly.
A big green oaf was carrying it. And we asked him to hold it, and he dropped it, and then it made some funky noises, and then turned into a wooden one instead.
You fools, do you know what you've unleashed? And you've brought it here to Darktown? And he turns towards Captain Three Earrings. You have been foolish, and you will be punished for this. The other captains immediately sort of stand, drawing their weapons, looking towards Captain Three Earrings as she recoils backward. Take her to the hold and keep her there until she can be questioned. The rest of you, speak plainly. You're saying this big green idiot dropped the scepter and activated the signal.
No. Rogar's actually taken a biscuit, yeah. No one dropped it. We're just walking up with it. Obviously, it's on our backs, on hold. And then suddenly it starts pulsing, and the staffs just turn to wood.
I was talking to someone way back, so I didn't even know what happened.
We don't actually have to mention the wood bit because they haven't mentioned that.
Listen now, and be very clear. You have been given your ship, the Abyss Diver, but your mission has changed drastically with this. Do you know what has happened here?
No.
No, please don't.
The signal you have activated calls the monster of the deep directly to our location. You have activated a signal that has put the whole of Darktown in danger.
One monster, is it?
The monster is a great kraken.
How many boats have you got out on your dock at the moment with full crews?
I care little for how many crews I have. This is protected by magic. Those magic barriers taken down by the Kraken will open us up to further attacks by the Clovis Concord. You think that we can attack both a great Kraken, a great shark, everything that is thrown across the Menagerie Coast, and then the Clovis Concord coming? Don't speak. I'm giving you your orders now. You, Captain Sylvester, you have been here before and you have commanded under the Revelry Pirates in the past. You are to take the Abyss Diver and take the signal with you. For your foolishness in activating the signal, which can only be caused by removing the gemstone from its housing in the scepter, which is why we wanted to keep it safe. You were to take the Abyss Diver out into the ocean. You were to draw the Kraken out, and you are to kill it to ensure the safety of Darktown. That is your mission.
Do you have anyone here that's like a magic user that can maybe just dispel magic and just like take the magic out of the scepter?
He looks around.
The Kraken just doesn't come then.
Bet you think you're smart, don't you? It is not that simple. The signal has already been sounded. It will follow the signal.
So if you dispel the magic,
if you dispel the magic at this point, it will come directly here because that is the last known location of the signal. You need to take it away as quickly as you can with the fastest ship that we have, which is the Abyss Diver. You are to take it away, and you are to ensure that the Kraken is killed. That is your new mission.
It's cool. So we'll sail out, get a bit of a sea. Then if you got anyone that could dispel the magic, we'll do that. And then everyone just knows not to sail around that area.
Do we look like we have anyone that has the ability to dispel magic? Do you think that that is not something that I would consider? I have ruled here. I have ruled here for many years. It is protected by the island itself. It was found in the past. Not something that we can control. Listen to me now. The only location that you would be able to find someone that could potentially dispel that magic is in Port Amalia, held by the Clovis Concord. Your mission is this, and it is simple. You either go out into the ocean and fight the Kraken, or you can go to Port Amalia undercover and you can try and find someone to dispel the magic. In fact, it would not be a bad thing for you to sit in Port Amalia and allow the Kraken to attack it itself. You may actually do some damage to our enemies at the same time.
I do have one idea.
What about you send a gem to your enemies and then kill them?
Yeah, so we kind of need to go somewhere to pick up a friend being held by the Clovis Concord.
Yeah.
And if you could tell us where that was with some more information, we could maybe just give them the scepter. Kraken comes along, destroys the lot.
He smiles at this. He smiles at this. Ooh, I like this thinking. Your friend is located in Port Amalia, a slaver's port, I assure you. Though luxurious and controlled by the Clovis Concord, friend is located in Port Amalia. I will provide you with a file with all of the information that we have. Take those 3 idiot crewmates of Solazina's that have been causing havoc at all of the taverns along Dark Tower as well with you. I shall make sure that they're deposited rather hungover and drunk in your hold. You can deal with them yourself. In addition to this, you'll also be provided multiple other quests that I would wish for you to complete across the Menagerie Coast before you return to Dark Tower. I'll ensure that they are deposited on your ship with all of the supplies. Have your quest.
Oh, sorry.
With the discussion to the rest of the group, do you reckon we could like bag in to get 3 earrings to come with us?
I think we're at a fucking disadvantage at this point.
I think we need 3 earrings.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like you sending us to the hole to like punish her, but surely we could bag and say, well, look, if she comes with us, it's a punishment anyway on our little ship with the Kraken after us.
Yeah, if we get caught, she's going to get killed by the Clovis Concord.
Yeah. So
if she doesn't, and this whole plan unfolds, then surely that's a debt repaid.
Yeah, it's like a win-win, really.
Kraken dies by enemies or helps us achieve a mission and comes back redeemed.
Like
that. The Pirate King looks over towards you. I like this. You seem to be full of good ideas. I can understand why Captain 3 Earrings likes you. Fine, you shall have Captain 3 Earrings provided to your crew. Calden shall take over command of the Wave Seeker for now. Captain 3 Earrings will be provided to you. Oh, and take that idiot Dial U that's on board the ship as well. I'm sure that he'll come in useful in some instances.
Is there any like blacksmitheries or any like magic item store or whatever else on this island as well? Any sort of discount code you can give us, like a little
coupons,
like a Plank King 2022 like code that we give them and get like 10% off or something? Or...
The longer you are here, the more the signal is calling that creature. Then shut up and do as I tell you. You'll move quickly, you will go to the shops, you will go to the stores, you will go to the blacksmith. We have plenty here on offer. No specific magic user, however, there are magic items that can be bought in the general stores all along the stock front. I will be clear. You have less than an hour to get off this island. If you do not get off this island within that time, you will be run off this island. And if you choose to fight, you will be killed on this island.
Can you also tell your followers to hit the like button, press follow, and hit the bell for notifications?
The captain turns towards the camera at this point. I approve of this message.
So do we get discount on these stores?
Yeah, so...
He turns towards you. Well, Iron Man, seeing as you're the only one with strength to be able to pull that scepter out, I'm going to assume that you're the idiot who did it. So no, you don't get a discount at any of the stores on my island.
Wait, so if we just made canon that Achilles is now Iron Man?
Yes. At this, he turns and stalks away from you. And seeing as we have reached midnight, we're going to end the campaign here for this round. However, we will do an epilogue episode which will allow you to prep your characters in preparation for our 24-hour stream, which will be a charity event on the 2nd of April. We will all be knackered by the end of it. However, I assure you that it will be a great event with many, many things going on, and we promise you it will be for Latch charity, and it'll be a great event. Can't wait to have you all along. Thumbs up. Can I get a thumbs up and a wink from everyone? A couple of claps. Here we go. Here we go. So yes, so that will conclude the first campaign of our Menagerie Coast. However, it does not end here. It continues to. I'm now going to check down into the channel below as we do the outro for the stream, and I shall be back with you all shortly.